Hi, so I'm back in the Eastern Sierra. It's October 16th, probably the last good weekend to go out. It's supposed to be fairly decent this weekend. The conditions are such that some of the Eastern Sierra is still blanketed in smoke. Some of it isn't. It's a little smoky here, even though all the websites say that the air quality is good. It looks smoky to me. It's been clear here all week, but just yesterday the winds shifted. Now they're coming from the southwest, and so now the smoke is starting to come up. Today's plan is to fish Bingaman Lake in Yosemite. I don't really know that much about it. It was named after a park ranger who planted the lake in the 30s. And in the 30s, the fishing was supposed to be good. I don't know what it's like now. It's supposed to have rainbows. They could be there, they could not be there, they could have been gill netted. There's really no information on fishing this lake. So it's going to be mostly off trail. I'm going to be taking the Mono Pass Trail in Yosemite and following that towards the Kuna Crest. And then just at that last meadow on Parker Pass Creek, before you head up to Spillway Lake, I'm going to be heading off trail. So we'll see how it goes. I think it's going to be a two and a half hour trek. It's a fairly easy 3 miles in, but then the last mile, actually less than the last mile, basically like the last 8/10 of a mile is pretty much going to be straight up. You gain 1,000 feet in elevation in that last 7 or 8/10 of a mile. So should be an interesting day. I have no idea what I'm going to do tomorrow. I got a bunch of things that are rolling around in my head, and I guess it's just going to come down to what I feel and how things go.
So gear-wise today, I'm carrying my standard 8.5 foot 4-weight fly rod, REI Flash carbon poles, my Osprey Ether 38. Today I'm also going to carry with me a saw. So I'm a woodworker. I don't have any outdoor saws. I just brought my woodworking saw. So it's an old Japanese saw that I have. Water-wise, I'm not going to be carrying the bladder this time around. I'm going to be carrying the Grail filter. I've got my Ultra Superior 3s, and knife-wise today, got my Dark Timber OG Grizzly. Carrying the OG Grizzly today because I'm going off trail. It's going to be a bit wooded, so I want something that that I know is reliable in terms of chopping and also starting a fire. This knife will spark a ferro rod fairly quickly. It's about 9 o'clock, and it's still about 40 degrees out. I'm at about 9,000 feet now. I'm guessing that maybe I've got a 1,700 foot gain in total. We'll see. Trailhead was actually more crowded than I've actually seen it in the past. I'd originally planned to come out here and backpack. I've got my wilderness permit and everything, but there are a couple things happen in Yosemite this time of year that have kind of squashed that. First off is the lakes that I'm visiting. There's actually no camping allowed in the Parker Pass Creek Basin, which I didn't know at first. I've seen people camp here, but obviously they weren't camping legally. So there's that. If I was gonna backpack here, I'd have to go up and over the Kuna Crest, which my original destination was going to be Helen Lake, and that wasn't going to be such, that's not a tough thing to do, to get over the Kuna Crest from Helen Lake. It's only about an additional mile. But as I started looking at the map and poking around a little bit, I was like, well, why don't I try Bingaman Lake? And so from there, it would be, I think, another 2 miles to get over the crest. But even so, this time of year it turns out that there's no overnight parking on Tioga Road. So even if I was to come out, you know, I wouldn't be able to park at the trailhead, which would mean riding my bike to the trailhead, parking outside the park. Which in my planning, I got on Google Maps and I looked to see, you know, what the distance was from the park entrance to the trailhead. And Google Maps said it was 3 miles. And I'm like, that's an additional hour's hike. I don't know if I really want to do that this late in the season for, you know, for an overnighter. But as it turns out, at least my car says it's just barely over a mile. So maybe it's something I'll do next year. So anyway, just something to know if you're going to backpack in this area, in and around Mono Pass. There's no backpacking in the Parker Pass Creek watershed, and there's no overnight parking on Tioga Road after October 15th. It's about 10:40, and distance-wise, I'm probably at the halfway point. I've just passed the trail split between the trail that goes to Helen Lake and the trail that goes to Mono Pass. I've got one more meadow to go before I head cross country, but right up there is where I'm going. I've already made a gain of 900 feet over the past, well, what should have been an hour, and I'm thinking it's 2 miles. I'm at 9,900 and change right now, so it's looking like I might top off. Oh, hello there. So as I was saying, it's looking like I might top off at 11,000 feet. We'll see. So I've come to the meadow, and from what I've seen on the map, I think where I want to cross is going to be up that way. You can see how the trees kind of funnel down in here, and from the map, it looks like there's an opening. It basically takes you right through and takes you in straight up. But I got to find a good place to cross the creek first. Now for me, the key is going to be trying to stay out of the trees. With my fly rod sticking up, it's going to catch on basically every tree limb I walk under. So if I can stay on the more clear path, that's the way to go. And that's why I'm sort of searching out this unforested patch. Okay, I think I found the dry creek bed I was looking for. I'm gonna walk up the middle of the creek bed, hoping that it is the path of least resistance. You can see there's a lot of trees up ahead, there's a lot of scrub, so there's a lot of brush to get through. And I'm hoping by going up this dry run, it'll be somewhat clear. Okay, so I've gone a good ways, and I've been able to avoid the brush for the most part. I can hear the outlet stream right there. So that's where the lake is, which is where I thought it was. And now I've got a decision whether to try to make a beeline through all that scrub or to try and try to weave my way around it. It's looking like if I go this way, I might be able to avoid it, and then it's real hard to see what's over that rise, but maybe I get to that rocky portion, I can come right across. I think that's what I'm going to do, because this brushy stuff can take a while to get through. I think even though it's not the most direct route, I think I'll try to weave up this way, at least for now. Scrub's getting a little higher now, almost shoulder height. I'm trying to make my way to the creek. There's some granite over there. Hopefully that'll make it a little bit easier. So I gave up going over to those rocks. Just too much shrubbery, and I was going to have to pitch back anyway. I'm aiming for that grove of trees. Mostly lower shrubs here. Man, has it gotten steep. "50 minutes up the bluff and come across 2 piles of bear scat. One small and one large. According to my watch, I've only ascended 500 feet, which means I've got another 500 feet to go. But it seems like I'm so close. Anyway, wonder where that bear is at. I think from a shrubbery and a scrub standpoint, I think the worst is probably over. Looks like I've got some scrambling to do though. Here's the creek. So now I just gotta head back that way. From the outlet, there's the outlet there, I can see it. So the lake must be right there. Because here's the water flowing out. There's the outlet. There's no other lakes up here that would be producing an outlet. So that's got to be it there. And look at that. I've got a nice gradual path all the way up. Isn't that sweet? That's looking pretty steep. I could go up around this way and then double back. And that would probably be the smart thing to do. But I think I'm gonna scramble up that. Or at least get up there and check it out. If it's too bad, I can always come back and around. Okay, now I should just be over this bluff. Finally, Bingaman Lake. Now there's this lake here, and then just up from here
There's supposed to be another lake. And I would guess at the base of that cliff is where I would guess it would be. We'll see how much time I have. I'm gonna eat and then I'll walk the lake, looking to sight fish as usual. It's a little breezy up here, not terrible. It is cooler. I'm starting to smell smoke, which I didn't smell before. Currently at 11,106 feet. And I think that looks like a good place for a lunch rock. Okay, it is exactly 1 o'clock and probably fish for 4 hours. Probably gonna get dark here around 6, so I want to be near the car by then. Lots of algae. It looks like I may have to do more prospecting than I would like. I've already found a caddis. It was a tan caddis. Oh, there was a fish. Okay, he was sitting in the rocks. That was about an 8-inch fish that I spooked. That's a good sign. Anyway, I saw a brown caddis, like a size 16 or a size 14, tan and brown caddis. So put it on my standard beadhead fly. That is the beadhead soft hackle gold ribs hare's ear. And I've also put on a calabatus nymph, so Rickard's calabatus nymph. And the reason I've done that is I saw a size 16 or size 14 tan caddis, tan and brown caddis. I don't have any caddis pupa or larvae, but that might be a fish. I think that is a fish. But this fly is generic enough that it should represent that fairly easily. Where'd he go? There he is. Come on. Oh, man. There we go. Hot diggity. It's a brook trout. Huh. That surprises me. I was expecting rainbows. Let's get a good picture of it first. Okay, that fish has moved on. I've gone ahead and put on some gloves because it is chilly. That's a bit surprising. I mean, maybe not so surprising since most of the lakes in this area seem to have brook trout. But I was really hoping some of those rainbow trout had survived. You know, as I guess we'll see. And maybe they're both. Maybe they're both in here. But if brookies, there's a brookie right there, I think. If brookies were planted over the rainbows, over time, they may have outcompeted the rainbows for food. Let's see, is that a fish? Yes, it is. Is he gonna take it? Yes, he is. And that one went after the calabatus nymph. So one on the calabatus, one on the soft hackle. Well, I am seeing a lot of brookies close to the bank, which is nice. Nothing of any size yet. I may have to, I don't know, who knows, maybe I'll have to prospect to get some big fish, but oh, I missed the hook set, and that spooked him. Did it spook him? Yeah, it did. Okay, well that was a little bit too early. I might just throw a cast way out there just to see. So there's a fish. So I made a few casts out into the deeper water and nothing. And I am seeing fish among these rocks. So yeah, I'm seeing lots of small brook trout along the edges here. I think though, I want to hold out for something that I think is a little bigger. That might be a little bigger. You know, I mean, presuming they're all brook trout, and they may not be. I don't know if I want to spend all day fishing for tiny brook trout. That went right on top of them. Did it spook them? Yeah, I guess it did. Okay, so maybe they're a little spooky. Here he goes. Not super spooky though. They're not snaky fish, which is good. I know a couple of fish in the area, a couple lakes in the area. That might be a bigger fish. I know a couple of lakes in the area that have, you know, that's got 12-inch brook trout, which I would much rather prefer to catch than these little guys. Yeah, another 6-incher. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to walk the bank. I'll walk the entire lake. I'm going to look for bigger fish. That's about the same size. If this lake is overpopulated, then all the fish are going to be around that size. So, you know, that should be readily apparent fairly quickly. I mean, I guess there could be bigger fish that are hunkered down in deeper water, and you know, maybe I'll throw an occasional cast to see if I can find something deeper. Here's a little nicer fish, but again, it's still the same relative length. Did you take both of them? You did take both of them. I knew you. You know, it's funny. He took both. I set the hook. I felt the bump, and I set the hook, and it didn't seem like he was on. But I guess he was. And he took the other one too. That's cool. That was funny. There are two fish here, and they keep taking the flies, both of them, which means they keep getting off because they're fighting in different directions, and I don't have good pressure. They probably won't take them again. Yeah, guess not. But it was funny because I was hooking them. Oh, there's one. And is he on or not? Probably not. Nope, he is. Okay, well, let's get him off. Come on, let's get off. Thank you. So, what was funny was, come on, don't take it again. See both of them taking the fly. and neither of them are on. That is so funny. One just took it. Where's the other one? Where's his partner in crime? Where's the partner in crime? There he is. Anyway, they both were taking the fly at the same time, which means that when I set the hook, I'd set the hook on one, but the other would be running in the other direction, and that's hilarious. That is so funny. So, decided to do a little prospecting in this deeper water. It seems just, the same thing. I'm getting 6-inch fish, thereabouts. Which is nothing to sneeze at. And if I was a beginner, this would be the perfect lake for me, because the fish are taking the fly without too much effort. A lot of fish in here. I mean, there's 1, 2. There were 2 there when I walked up. There's one right there. There's another one behind it, but it's still just tiny fish. I think what I'm gonna do, and there's one there. That one actually looks like it might be a little bigger. It's these fish should be getting ready to spawn or pre-spawn. Maybe there's bigger fish somewhere that are staging. Maybe I should look and see if there's anywhere like that. Now I don't know where that one fish went. He was right in front of me. I'm just gonna throw this down and see if he was in there. It looked like it might have been a little bit bigger. No, that was a small fish. There he goes. Ah, missed him. Is he gonna go for it again? Where'd he go? Ah, yeah, he's taking it. No, that's a smaller one. He was right there. There he goes. There we go. And he's a solid fish, but still, well, maybe a little bit. No, he's heavier, but still the same size. But that was fun. It's good sight fishing practice, that's for sure. There he is. Let's see, will he take it again? That was a good fish. And there's another one way over there. That's too far. Too far ahead of him. Oh, but I think he's seen it. Yes, he has. And survey says same size fish. Okay, well, sure looked bigger out there. They certainly are beautiful fish, and they don't really seem to be in spawning colors yet. Maybe that's a better fish. Right behind him. He turned around, he did. He's gonna grab it. He's going for it. Hasn't grabbed it. Yeah, he did. There we go. It just really does look like a bigger fish. They're solid. They're chunkier. They're fatter. That's what it is. They're fatter. Look at that belly. He's got something. Okay, so I'm at where it looks like a sandbar, drops off into deeper water. I don't know that there are bigger fish in here, but all along here would be good. But I'm gonna throw some casts in here and see what happens. And if nothing happens, gonna head over to that other lake. Now this fish is in full spawning colors. Look at that. Okay, so I've made a half dozen casts in here, and I'm still not picking up any bigger fish than I have anywhere else. So